Hello, everyone. My name is Deara. Welcome to the session on how to pitch a good session for the NC News and Information Summit happening in March of 2026. So we will go ahead and get started. We can keep this cute, short, to the point. So we'll start off real quick with what is the summit, who is hosting the summit, what makes a good session, what are some key themes we're looking for, topics, expertise, and then next steps. So let's jump in. So yes, my name is Deara Towns. I am the program manager with NC Local. I will be supporting the summit in 2026. Fun fact, I first attended my first summit last year or 2025. So that was my first summit, but the summit has been going on for 5 years now, starting in 2021. So now we are entering the sixth version of this space. So what is the summit? First, we'll start off with who are the hosts. All right, so it's NC Local, the organization that I work with. NC Local is a statewide journalism organization supporting community-centered news across North Carolina. We work with journalists, newsrooms, information providers to help strengthen the local news information ecosystem as well as information access throughout the state. Our co-host in this space is the NC Open Government Coalition. So this organization is dedicated to promoting transparency as well as access to public records in North Carolina. They advocate for open government practices. They support journalists in that work as well as citizens in understanding and exercising their rights to public information. So together with our powers combined, we co-host the NC News and Information Summit every year. So, about the summit itself. So, it is North Carolina's annual gathering of journalists, information providers, publishers, educators, students, right, as well as media lawyers, FOIA experts, community organizers, and of course, local news supporters, right? This will be our sixth gathering for 2026. We're bringing together diverse voices across the news information ecosystem, focusing on strengthening news access, records access, transparency, and the like. So we are excited that you're interested in pitching a session for our upcoming summit. So, what we do in this space is trying to understand what makes a good summit session, right? So, we are trying to help you shape your ideas, whether you have a fully formed concept, just a rough idea, something in the back of your mind, but you're not quite sure. We're going to jump into what would make a good session for you guys. So this is we're looking for hands-on workshops, right? Things that are collaborative. We're looking for problem-solving sessions as well, things that allow people to not just experience the insights that you have to offer, but also take something back with them, right? A lot of folks might be the only people from their newsroom, their office, their operation that can actually attend the summit. So we do want to make sure that the folks who are in that space are also leaving with something that they can share when they get back to their workspace. We would love to see interactives, right? We want to see audience engagement. We want folks out of their seat. We want people filling out note sheets, as you see here, working together to assess challenges, to come up with best practices, share with each other to be able to learn a little bit more about what it is that you are trying to share through a more interactive experience. We love panels, of course, nothing wrong with a good panel. And sometimes there are sessions that work best as a panel, as a Q&A. But we do want to make sure that the audience is getting involved, that they shift from audience to participant and are able to have a practical approach to the information, the insights, the challenges that you may be presenting in this space. But we're also open to something new, right? Maybe it's a share circle, maybe it's a game. We would love to see new ways to showcase the information and the lessons that you have to share in this space. But what are some of those key themes, right? So transparency, absolutely, right? We want to see government records. We want to see information about how you've accessed it, what the challenges were when you got there. Community engagement. How are you involving your audience, your community in your information gathering and sharing process, right? We know not everybody here in our space will be a journalist. So the hope is that we are learning from, say, public information officers. We're learning from FOIA experts and things like that. How are you engaging the community that you're serving in your work? And then what does that look like here at the session, at the summit? climate and public health. So we see, especially last year's summit, or 2025, we had a lot of focus on climate as a result of the Hurricane Helene impacts. We know this year in North Carolina, we had some challenging effects from Tropical Storm Chantal in the Piedmont and Sandhills region. So we want to see what were those stories looking like? What offerings did you have for your community in terms of information access? What were those challenges? What hurdles did you hit? Was there something that you did that was different from how you normally cover these issues or how you share out this information that you feel would be applicable or something worthy to uplift in the summit? We want to hear those ideas. When it comes to diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility, we want to learn about what has worked, what were those challenges, what can you uplift as solutions? Was there a particular story that you covered that really focused in one of those subject matter areas? We love to see pitches in that space as well, especially best practices, since we know there's been shifting focuses at the federal and the national level. How's that bubbled down into your workspace? How's that being reflected in your community? Things along those lines. Of course, news innovation, we hear a lot about AI. AI is not the main topic idea within news innovation, but we know it is very important. So, does your newsroom or your information space have an AI policy? Have you communicated that out to your community? If so, what does that look like? Are you comfortable sharing what that process was like? Was there deliberation? How would you advise other news and information providers to develop an AI policy? We would love to see larger organizations, perhaps outside of the North Carolina news and information ecosystem space, who would come down into our summit and share some larger, broader themed information and best practices. You know, last year we had Trusting News come through and they share best practices. We are absolutely welcoming of ideas that are outside North Carolina and then helping us figure out like together what would an NC angle look like for that larger organization. And we also know with funding, sustainability, bringing in money, new revenue and strategy models, we would love to see new ideas, innovations in that space as well. We know that we have a lot of startups, entrepreneurs. We have folks who might be digital only. What does that look like for you guys? How are you sustaining yourselves financially? Do you have any insights that you could share with others in that space? We absolutely want to see uniqueness in this space as well as the tried and true. So if something is working, like guys, we started circulating again. It's bringing in audiences. It's bringing in clicks. We're getting a lot of feedback. We started showing up at let's say different restaurants or community events, and we're seeing feedback. Like, what does a sustainable engagement model look like for you as well? What can you share? How can you make that session interactive? Maybe there's a how-to guide. Again, we're looking for things that are across the scope that allow people who are in attendance to this event have a yes, an accessible, but also an engaging and an interactive experience where they're able to take back tangible, practical, and insightful information here. We do know for sure that there are a lot of top-down issues happening in North Carolina, one being immigration, the ICE raids, difficulties in reporting around deportation, around detention. So we would love to see newsworthy and topic-based matter in that space as well, since we know it is top of mind. It is affecting our communities across the state. We've seen a lot of solid coverage coming out of Charlotte and Raleigh. Maybe there were spaces on the eastern side of the state. Maybe there's something toward the mountain region as well. Let us know what those are, how you can best pitch those sessions. You can reach out and we can help you formulate, develop the format as well. If you have an idea but you're not quite sure, please do let us know. And then in terms of expertise, we know that like we can't know it all and do it all, but we may have facilitators that can join us, or maybe if you are putting on a panel, which again, nothing wrong with the panel. We would just love to see more interactive aspects of it. Q&As that start at the top maybe. But if you and another facilitator, another panelist, if you guys, you know, your powers combined are able to build a stronger session as a result of someone who's the reporter versus somebody who may have been the research source, things like that. We want to see these different voices come together, keeping in mind that with these sessions, we do want to see diversity, yes, of culture and background, but also of expertise and lived experience. We know North Carolina, we are a business-friendly state. We'd love to see business journalists in this space. We'd be happy to see anyone who's been reporting on, say, data centers, AI coming into this space, the environmental and health impacts in this space, because again, we know that there are a lot of national headline issues that are making its way into our state. So we do want to give space and opportunity for us to explore, well, what does that look like here within, yes, the state, but also in our counties and our municipalities, right? In our rural regions as well as our urban and suburban spaces. So again, nothing is too small, nothing is too big. Please do let us know what questions you might have. Again, like an example from 2025, we had an AMA with fundraising and with funders. So again, gives people the opportunity to ask questions that maybe they wouldn't get an opportunity to do and outside this space. Makes it a little bit more informal, makes you hopefully more comfortable asking questions in this space. So again, thank you so much for taking a little time out of your day to watch what I hope is a brief breakdown of what we're looking for in our sessions. Each session is an hour long. We hope to have as many pitches as possible. If there are similar pitches that are sent to us, which does happen, we may reach out to see about you guys maybe combining your session. Maybe there's enough in there that you guys could build something that's a little bit more interactive as a result of your experience, your reporting, and so forth. So deadline is December 31st. Earlier, of course, is better, but yes, that is our deadline. So again, hands-on training, brainstorming sessions, facilitated discussions, presentations, participatory workshops. We're looking for the whole gamut here. So the link is here. It's that bit.ly / pitch NC News Summit 26. We have a QR code here. So if you can scan it now, and then of course, email me with any questions you may have at diarra@nclocal.org. Again, thank you for taking the time to listen to this breakdown and what we're looking for our summit. Reach out with any questions you may have, and hopefully we will see you in March. All right, everyone, take care, and we'll talk soon.